Good afternoon. My name is Savina Vega, and I'm your school counselor. Today I will be presenting the professional development presentation on stress management. So let's begin. What is stress? Stress can be defined as our emotional, cognitive, physical, and behavioral reactions to any perceived demands or threats, also known as stressors. The American Institute of Stress calls stress America's leading health problem due to psychological threats. Having some stress is necessary as it helps us to act, take on challenges, and meet deadlines. However, experiencing too much stress for long intervals of time can become problematic and have one experience being stressed out. Stress evolves in the form of fight or flight response. Now, there are three types of stress that you should be made aware of. The first is acute and is also the most common form of stress. It is short term, and obvious triggers for acute stress can be seen in running late to work or being involved in an accident. The second type of stress is called episodic stress, and it's the same type of stress as acute stress. However, it happens more frequently. And you might know someone that has a lot of nervous energy and is constantly rushing and running late. They probably suffer from episodic acute stress. And the third type of stress is called chronic stress. And it is that grinding stress that wears people away day after day, year after year, due to ongoing issues such as poverty, being in an unhealthy relationship, or simply hating your job. Symptoms of stress can be seen in the body, mind, emotions, and behavior. Symptoms of stress in the body can be seen through headaches, frequent infections, breathlessness, fatigue, skin irritations, or muscular twitches. Within the mind, symptoms of stress can be worry, can be nightmares, being negative, having impaired judgment, and making hasty decisions. Symptoms of stress and emotions can be exhibited through loss of confidence, being depressed, being more fussy, being irritable, and having apprehension. And lastly, symptoms of stress and behavior can be exhibited through becoming more accident prone, having loss of appetite, having a loss of sex drive, increase in alcohol and drug abuse, and having restlessness. Now, causes of stress, again, can come from many sources known as stressors. And it is important to note that one's stress triggers or sources of stress may not register as stressful for someone else. But the following are causes of stress: losing a job or starting a new job, getting married, getting divorced, or even breaking up a relationship, moving, having a child, beginning or ending school, following the news or politics, experiencing a change in your financial status, experiencing a loss, or being diagnosed with a serious illness. Now, I have mentioned some unhealthy ways to cope with stress, but the following are additional unhealthy ways to cope. And they include, again, smoking, drinking, zoning out for hours in front of the television or computer, withdrawing from family, friends, or activities that you enjoy, procrastinating, sleeping too much, gambling, and self-harm. Now, here's where stress management comes into play. Stress management starts with identifying the sources of stress in your life, including looking closely at your habits, attitudes, and excuses. Now, managing stress is all about taking charge of your thoughts, your emotions, your schedule, and environment, and having the proper way to deal with those problems. Now, stress management provides a range of tools to reset those alarm systems and to help your mind and body to adapt and build resilience. Until you accept responsibility for your role in creating or maintaining your stress level will always remain out of your control. So the ultimate goal with stress management is to have a balanced life between time for work, your relationships, relaxation, and fun. And again, it's building that resilience to hold up under pressure and meet challenges head on. Now, as you can see, there are 4 A's of stress management. The first 2 can be found under change the situation. And A number 1, avoid the unnecessary stressor. And that includes eliminating the number of stressors in your life that you can. A number 2 is alter the stressor. And that involves changing the way you communicate and operate in your daily life. Now, the next 2 A's can be seen under change your reaction. So A number 3 is adapt to the stressor. And that includes regaining your sense of control by changing your expectations and attitudes. And lastly, A number 4 is accept the stressor. There's some times where your sources of stress are unavoidable. So what you want to try to do is accept things as they are. Now, how do we learn to manage our stress? And step 1 is becoming self-aware. And that also includes learning about your low zone. And your low zone is how you may feel when you're not stressed. And that's when you're creative, you're cheerfully engaged in life, you feel relaxed. You can stay this way for an extended period of time. You can handle your stressors and still think in a positive manner and have positive solutions. But once you find that you are exceeding your low zone of stress and you're starting to become into the area where you are becoming more irritable and anxious or overwhelmed, you're starting to find that your problems are unsolvable and that you're just upset. Again, you're irritable. You need help. You're about to lose it. That's when you have entered the threshold of high stress zone. And that is not where anyone wants to be. So step 2 means learning to live in your low zone. So in order to learn to live in your low zone, you have to be aware and learn what is your low zone, what makes you be able to manage your stress appropriately. And that leads me to healthy techniques to reduce stress. And psychological research has shown the following techniques can help reduce your stress in short and the long term. And they include simply taking a break from the stressor, exercising, having a healthy and balanced diet, simply smiling and laughing, going for a walk, meditating, Tai Chi, or yoga. Now, since we do work in the school, it is important that we identify signs of stress within the children and teens that we work and encounter. And as you may know, similar to adults, young people do experience stress. So tuning into their emotional or behavioral cues is important in identifying potential problems. And it allows you to provide guidance and support to successfully work through these difficult times with them. So some of their signs of symptoms of stress may include understanding that feeling sick may be caused by stress, or watching for negative changes in their behavior, as well as being aware of how your child or teen interacts with others. Now, common stress triggers for students can be seen in 3 categories: social, academic, and daily life. Social stress puts serious peer pressure on students because they're dealing with new relationships, balancing between academic and their social life, possibly living with or without their family members, adjusting to new environments. Academic stressors, again, incorporates deadlines, strict schedules, low grades, challenging classes and exams, responsibilities, and poor time management all builds up academic stressors. And lastly, the daily life. These are stressors that are not associated or related to academic or social life, but they do bear significance on these students. And that includes their daily commute, having a part-time job, financial burdens, to name a few. So what are some stress management tips for students? They include staying positive, being organized in your academic life, having proper time management, doing something you love, spending time with friends, and taking it one step at a time. Now, additional stress management tips can be seen and learned by others, such as those watching, because these management tips can help learn to manage stress and lead healthier and happier lives. And they include keeping a positive attitude, accepting that there are events that you just cannot control, setting limits, being assertive, making time for hobbies and interests, simply relaxing, getting more sleep and rest, not utilizing drugs or alcohol to reduce your stress, and when necessary, seeking help from psychological or mental health professionals trained in stress management. Now you will find that I have provided stress management resources that can be helpful for you and or your students that need some more information on stress management. As well as I have enclosed references that have been utilized to conduct and put this presentation together. At this time, I would like to thank you for participating in this professional development presentation. I do hope that it was helpful and you were provided with a wealth of information and tips on how to properly manage your stress. Thank you and have a great day.